Welcome back to Factorio MSX Gigabase. Okay, so we're up to mining productivity 220, so we're starting to run out of time. I'll briefly show you what I've been doing. Basically, I've come back here and fixed up these mines, so they're sort of using the number of miners they need to, or they're certainly reduced from what they were, and none of these spare boxes are lying around. We've cleared them all out. Same here, although we could probably actually fit another layer in here, but never mind, they're good for now. Over here next to the iron stack 1 at copper 11, I have moved it from up here, so it's obviously they're a lot quieter than they were, and they are busy cutting off this end so that there's more room to build pre-stackers on this side. On this other side I can drill a hole into the solar, that should be fine. Solar is done. All of this is done. There's over 1 million panels. I think there's actually about 1,050,000 panels. But you can't actually get that detail. We'll just say it's over 1 million, and we would need to wait until it gets to the peak for us to know whether it's at a to see what it actually is. It is going up, so it will get to that peak soon, so we can come back to that in a moment. What we are going to do this episode finally is realize that we are constantly short of iron and copper, and that feeds into everything else, and that our trains updates is costing us a lot more than we would like it to. So I'd like to try and address all of those issues with a new build, because we do need to build a bit more. I'm just coming back here to see if we get to our maximum level, which will then give us a reading on the number of solar panels we've actually laid. It's less than 1.1 million, but it will show 0 until you actually get to 1,100,000, so you can't really tell without getting a reading on the gigawatts. So a perfect opportunity to have a sip of my coffee. And certainly while we were building solar, we were definitely very short of steel, probably partly because of the need to supply quite a lot to the solar, and that has restricted the number of satellites that have been built, which has sort of reduced, I guess, the total amount of science being done, and so on and so forth, but all of it can be dedicated to the rockets now. So let's have a look how we're doing here. 61, 62, I think it will get to 63, no advances on that, so that's basically 1,050,000 solar panels to achieve that. And of course, once this fully recharges, it will settle down again. But there you go. So where are we now? We are down by oil 6. This is the new green circuit that we made. At the moment there's actually green circuit trains sitting here, so the only reason we're not getting maximum science, I would suggest, is space science. That one is fine. This one is completely out of space science. This one is out of space science, and this one has space science. So yeah, the middle two are missing space science. So once the space science is able to resume, which comes down to we don't have all the satellites we need, and the satellites are missing the solar parts. As you can see, they have none. So as soon as that starts flowing again more freely, we'll get back to 6,000 science per minute. Now, how is being down here going to address our congestion, our trains, our iron and our copper? Well, we will start exploiting some more copper and iron. There is more iron and copper out here. And the way I'm thinking of doing it, this will be an oil train. The way I'm thinking of doing it is to actually, we're going to need some landfill here. I'm going to, let's just build a bit more of this. I'm going to build in a way that I haven't ever really done before, and that is to combine the smelting with the end production of the green circuits. So what we will do is we will have kind of if it was 3 boxes like so, this box would be a whole area dedicated to smelting copper. This one would be a whole area dedicated to smelting iron, and it would be making green circuits in the middle. And the only thing that comes out to our main network is one train for the green circuits, these being completely separated networks otherwise. So that's the general idea of what we're aiming for. I'm not going to be able to put it into motion probably without, I'm going to have to be over here somewhere so there's room for sort of pre-stackers, and on the other side I'm going to need some space. I'm certainly going to want to fill in probably at least all of that space with landfill. Quite likely I'm going to want to fill in a bit here as well. So what I will do is come up here and we will put in a train stop just behind the engineering train. There we go, there is one. Put one in just there. That can be landfill new green circuit project, because I'm very imaginative with these project names, of course, as you know by now. Right, where is the landfill train? Let's give you this new landfill destination. That's it. Circuit. Actually, what I really wanted was inventory empty, so that one can go away. And it's on its way. It shouldn't take too long. What I think I might do is break it here until such time as we have actually achieved a little bit of our landfill, and are in a position to start laying down our stacks. So, or no, maybe I'll carry on. I do need to clear out a bunch of these trees though. That doesn't take out the rail. That should help. So if I was laying down this one, I would want sort of that level of infrastructure. So we would be out out about here, I think. Let's get some InfiniZoom action happening. I mean, obviously this is not what I'm going to lay down out here. And do I in fact need, I probably do. I probably want it sort of like that. So yeah, I want to do some landfill before we really start doing this. That's just to confirm it. So yes, I will wait for the landfill train. I will apply some landfill over here, and I'll rejoin you when we have achieved when we're in a position to start building further. So see you soon. Welcome back. So just so you can have a look, I have filled in quite a large amount of this lake. This is just trees here. I forget exactly where we wanted to start this, but I guess somewhere around about here will probably do. So I mean, we can always move it if this turns out to be wrong. Let's just start with our standard lay down a bunch of track, lay down a station, and stations on that side. Doesn't matter, possibly not. This will be a load into the train, I think. I'm not quite sure yet how many of these I will need. Let's just grab a quick blueprint. Let's not include the rail. That never ends up well. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. And requested chests, of course, which I should have included in the blueprint, but never mind. So this will be the green circuit load. So these, if there's going to be 3, would need to be sort of 700s. We missed one. And roboports. I don't have any roboports. I do need roboports. They're going to be rather important in terms of determining just how much room we have to work with. So let's come down here and grab some. Might actually be further up than I want it to be. Roboports, not so much in there. Got some in there. So, what we need obviously is, oops, we need to be down near these guys, that's one thing. Where are those roboports gone? There they are. So it might work if I just have roboports on one side. But a key thing is we are going to need passive chests. Actually, they might extend a bit further than this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Doesn't really make a huge amount of sense. Yeah, well, if I was trying to space these along with those, I have failed dismally, but never mind. Maybe what I'll do is just another, come over here. Put a few more. And then on the other side, we are going to have requester chests. So this is instead of having, so loading up your iron plates into a train, instead iron plates can be placed here. Let's say it would be 700. And as they turn up, they get transported across the line to a separate network. So keeping with our theme, I am going to try and work out what we can place in between, and I like the idea of well, we're going with the full surround this time. So something like that with oh, I didn't get if I'm going to repeat this, oh, I have substations here, that will work. Okay, fine. Yeah, that might work if it's there. So we need assembly machines. Here we go. Something like that. This will be a copper cable machine. It will require copper cable, obviously. So you get 2 copper cable. I think I will need 2 of those for the speed of the machine. And something like that. This will obviously be full of those productivity modules, and these guys will obviously be full of speed modules. Now, one, I should be able to get 2, good, 2, and that's a good point actually, because we can do that. Do we need this guy up there, or is down there? Okay, in fact, that seems to work. I don't know if that actually benefits us at all, but everything would be powered if these guys were powered, basically. So that's quite good. That's 1. I think I want 15 of these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that's going to mean we're going to need another 4 at each end. We are kind of even, I guess. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a very, very wide format. Oops, that did not work the way it was supposed to. So I slipped at the last minute, but that's easily remedied. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 15 wide, which works perfectly if we go 14 wide for the actual green circuits themselves. We'll actually have a perfect ratio. So what I might do is come down here. To do 14, we're basically going to go from here, half in, I think is that. Now let's correct this recipe. And how far does that reach? That does not reach far enough. Okay. So, in that case, this is not going to work. Let's rip that out. We're going to need more of these guys. Now, I guess one option is to simply go in here. Which is as close to the rail as we can get. And if we had that everywhere that we need to ensure a continuous network on this side, we'll probably end up using these guys up here, something like that, so that we don't actually have to rely on medium poles. Then we would have supply chests. Kind of up here. So this would be taking the iron plate. And actually what I might do is just go, it might be easier just to like copy those, drop that. Oh, those are requester chests though, of course. Well, that's still okay. Because we'll just overwrite them with supply chests. And then that would make it even. Of course, I might want to actually stretch these out a bit wider, but we can get to that. So now if I was to grab one of these, twist it around, about here, which obviously means these robo ports need to extend further to about there. And the formula here needs to change from copper cable obviously to green circuit, and we would probably maybe have 2 requesters. So that one of them can be requesting copper cable, 200 maybe, and the other iron, whoops, the other one, iron plate. Something like that. And we can copy this. One, two, three, that's 4 in total, yeah. 4, 5, I'm finally running out of stuff. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and something is wrong. That one goes to there. Um, 13. Right, so we do need another. How many do we have along here? We do have 15. Okay. I guess we should have been one further over here. Anyway, so that would be roughly... yeah, this could definitely be spread. In fact, do I need 3 or just 2? It might even be better if it was only 2, and then that would be 16, so it's virtually 1 each. I wouldn't want to make it down to just 14, so it's really one about there. And an extra one. And yeah, obviously we didn't move these guys over quite far enough. So something like that. And of course, on the other side of these, there needs to be requester chests. Oops. And the inevitable stack inserters. And then we would be using, well, here we would need something like maybe if I take this pattern, so what I want to see is where exactly this would be. Looks like about there. And this then would be about here. Now the top row is not actually especially relevant. We certainly aren't looking for... The only reason I took it really was for these substations. Definitely not the beacons, and not so much the boxes either. Tick on that. Oops. So this should fit now without so much difficulty. Something like that. And then of course we would be doing this, but in the reverse direction. So maybe another quick blueprint. We'll just copy that for the moment. Hope that it's all going to fit nicely. Of course it doesn't want to. Yeah, there's my problem. Okay, if you are here, we can always move these up so that it works slightly better, so that it's more like that. The other side should be fine. Because it doesn't matter so much, so we can take a quick blueprint. Basically of this. Like so. So they already have the iron processing set up. And then of course we need to repeat this for copper. It's that 1, 2, 3, 4. On the other side, 1, 2, 3. Close enough. So the copper, I need more robo ports. To help delineate this. Robo ports. Right. None in there. Not that many in there. What about in here? Let's grab a few more. What else do we need? Maybe some of them. Let's run with that. So you can see how this sort of sandwich effect is going to happen. A green circuit sandwich. Well, let's clear out a few trees, of course. I may have used a few more nukes on trees. Neither going to confirm nor deny that. So we basically want a copper version of that. Actually, that one. No. Well, let's just clear that. Come to the map. Go over to a copper stack. So we are looking for. Let's do the same sort of thing. Go to there. Get rid of everything but the substation. That's sort of on this outer bit. Now, I don't know how this whole design is going to work ultimately, because I've never really tried this sort of thing before, but my theory is that we'll be saving on a bit of train congestion. Which is a good start. Let's see, we want that round that way really. Yeah. Might have to move a few of. Should go about there. But yeah, there's probably a few of these. Oh, hang on. No, that didn't work. So busy looking at where I was lining things up that I didn't line up the start of this as well as I should have, and so we are going to have to do that again, but that's alright, we can do that. Right, let's try that again. So, that lines it up to roughly where I think I need it. I just need... So we lost quite a few of the substations due to how I have lined this up, but yeah, as I say, that's fine. Now, let us place this sort of in line with the one we placed down here, even though it's probably not quite right. Should be that. that. Which looks like it works. And then, of course, our final piece is to get a copper version of the bottom, which basically is this here. Spun round, lined up, and placed like so. So that is the general idea. So this whole thing has its own independent supply of copper, using, for example, well, here's some copper and iron. That's a stone, but that's an iron. And we will make probably about 4 of these, which will be quite a fat pattern. We'll probably end up going straight over the top of the stone. That's alright. We're going to have to. I need to refine it a bit first. But yeah, that's the general idea. So, and the only thing that actually makes it back to the main base is the green circuits. And we're not actually going to expand green circuit capability with this. We're just going to reduce the green circuits here, which should free up some of our iron and steel. Well, not so much steel, but iron, which can then go to steel. So here and here will go down to just a 2 stack. Because this kind of isn't good. But of course some of that is iron ore going up there, and that won't be for much longer, because down here there's a tiny bit under here, which I probably won't worry about, but there's 108,000 just there, of course multiplied by this doubled plus 1, which is like 4.5, so 5.5 times, so it's really about 550,000. Copper 9, of course, is completely gone. I mean, as is copper 8 that used to be here. So we're just waiting on that 108 and this 547. It will take a little bit longer, but it is pretty heavily packed, and there's a decent number of trains coming here, but that will remove a bit of congestion from this line. And of course, when this 2.7 is gone, we can then look at revamping this whole layout as well. But I think that's going to have to do us for now. You've seen the basic design. I'll try and flesh it out a little bit more, and we'll continue with this next episode. But thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you then as we get into a stronger position to tackle our resourcing requirements to consistently make that 6,000 science per minute. We're only doing 3 at the moment, which is not particularly good, but we are doing a decent number of plates, so that's all good. And what's our all 1.5 billion, holy gee, there you go, 1 billion copper plate, and we're getting close with electronic circuits as well. We're getting almost to 200 million of the advanced circuits, 31 million processing units. So yeah, we've already got good numbers, and we've barely started on our true objective, being this one, of course, where we haven't even started the second phase. Never mind, I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.